the World Economic Forum declares people have no right to own their own cars. Klaus Schwab says you can walk or share. Klaus Schwab's World Economic Forum, the WEF, has declared that people have no right to own their own cars and can instead walk or share. According to the WEF, far too many people own their own vehicles, and the situation must be corrected by pricing them out of the market. Thousands of private jets fly into Davos each year for WEF's annual summit, but according to Klaus Schwab, ordinary people should not own their own cars. In a paper published by the WEF, the Davos elites claim that communal sharing of cars must become part of a circular approach in order to reduce global demands for precious metals and fossil fuels. The global elites in Geneva, Switzerland, now instructing their young global leaders embedded in governments around the world that far too many people own private vehicles and they must be priced out of the market with massive gas price hikes, citing the fact that the average car or van in England is driven just 40% of the time. The WEF claims this means people in developed countries, including the United States, should not have the right to own their own car. People should sell their car and walk or share because car sharing platforms such as GetAround and Blue SG have already seized that opportunity to offer vehicles where you pay per hour used. And it's not just cars. The end of private ownership is essential, according to WEF, and can be applied to everything from cars to private homes and even citywide design principles. The WEF sets this out, a design process that focuses on fulfilling the underlying need instead of designing for product purchasing is fundamental to its transition. This is a mindset needed to redesign cities to reduce private vehicles and other usages. Part of the circular approach appears to be driving already sky-high gas prices even higher. In an article published earlier this month, the WEF issued a call to its legion of young global leaders, stating the gas prices we are experiencing in 2022 are simply not high enough, as though ordinary people are not suffering enough pain at the gas pump. Klaus Schwab is claiming the current prices are severely underpriced. The WEF article is complicated and disingenuous, but it is basically calling for the end of to any and all tax credits for oil, gas, and coal production, along with higher taxes. This idea is not new. Basically, it's the same idea as pricing fossil fuels based upon their carbon content. The result would make gas unaffordably luxury for a vast majority of the population. There are 3 more provisions you can read about WEF's website, all of which would massively increase the price of fossil fuels across the board. The WEF justified this with a statement by delaying a clean energy transition. Leading democracies are making their economies more vulnerable through continued reliance on fossil fuels. Collectively acting to foster a green transition is not only good for the climate, but also critical for protecting democracy. The key point in Klaus Schwab's latest proclamation is that the fossil fuels are presently underpriced. Of course, U.S. consumers are presently paying the market price for these fuels, and apparently the market price is too low for the WEF. This leads us to the big question. How long, weeks, or months, before we see administrations take regulatory action to comply with WEF's edict? What are the odds on an executive order, for example? This is by Baxter Dimitri on News Punch. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box.